Hello, hello, everybody. It is our next community spotlight with Jeff. Thank you so
Hello.
much for joining me today. I'm so happy to chat with you a little bit more. You were on our live streams previously on our Twitch channel. So now we're going to highlight you and your community fundraising efforts. So excited to get into your background. So, again, I'm Ashley. I am Tiltify's community manager. You probably know me, you see my face a lot. I know you do. But let's hear a little bit from Jeff. And Jeff, I'll have you share your pronouns and we'll learn a little bit about your content creation journey.
Sure. So, my name's Jeff. Pronouns are he, him, or they, them. I'm honestly not super strict about my own. So you can call me she, you can call me they, whatever comes to your mind. I live outside of gender. So my channel, I kind of been thinking of it as like a little coffee shop where we're all hanging out and playing a game together and getting cozy. I really pride myself on like community interaction. So having a space where we can all just hang out, be entertained. We do lots of different kinds of like playthroughs of games, kind of enjoying the story of a game together. I love horror games. I think kind of enjoying them with people tends to make it a little less scary. So for people that like, I'm too sensitive, like try it out. You might end up liking doing it with a group. Um, but no matter what we're doing, I try to keep it as a nice, like cozy, safe space. And I've been doing that for, oh my gosh, 4 years now. It's
Wow.
wild. Yeah,
Look
it's
at you. You're a
I know.
veteran now.
It's so weird to think about that. Like
Hmm.
when I think about how long I've been streaming, I'm like, wow, that's veteran status.
Hmm. Wow. And you've been on Twitch this entire time
Yes.
streaming? Cool. And how do you think your community, or how do you think you've changed as a creator in person throughout your last 4 years?
It's taught me a lot about, as cliche as it sounds, it's taught me a lot about myself. I think it's taught me how much more capable I am of just being myself.
Yeah.
Because there's a level of like being on the internet and even just like being on camera that's you kind of I think at first you feel like you need to like be kind of shy away because you're
Mhm.
perceiving yourself as how people are perceiving you. But there's a level of like just kind of getting to do this more days out of the week that make me just feel comfortable just being myself because people are having there's like that live feedback of like, oh, people are enjoying this. People are enjoying like
Mhm.
who I am and like what I have to say and what I stand for, to the point where it makes me feel more comfortable just being like that off camera, just in my daily life. So I think it's helped me just kind of grow into myself,
Mhm.
become more solidified in the person I was meant to be.
Yeah, I think a lot of creators, when they first start, they don't know really what they want for their community or how they want to be in an industry. And you just have to learn a little bit about yourself and grow. And I love
Yeah,
that. Yeah, even me personally, I was very shy. I
right.
wouldn't talk much. I'm like, hi, somebody's in my chat. Why are you here?
Yeah, you get like this like level of like somebody's here and now I'm being perceived.
Yeah.
uh
Like they could be thinking a million things about me, but yeah, you get over that with time. You're like,
so
I'm me
quick.
and that's what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like I have my safe space here. If it's not a safe space for you, then that's fine, but this is me and this is my community. So, I love that. Yeah, I think yeah, you're not alone in that. We all have that same path, I'm sure.
Right, right. I think, cool, because I think, throwing yourself in front of a camera, in front of a live
Yeah.
audience, like for me, I actually did a lot of YouTube stuff before
Oh,
being on Twitch. So
okay.
no, no like live streams, but I did a lot of like vlogging.
Mhm.
Um, so that definitely like I had like the on-camera sort of comfortability at least. So
Mhm.
that part was never a thing that I had to like get used to. But when it was like having people with like live feedback and realizing like, oh, people are like legitimately listening to things I'm saying. Whereas like with a vlog,
Yeah.
it's so hard to know if people are actually listening because you're
Mhm.
literally talking to yourself in front of a camera. um,
Yeah.
whereas with Twitch,
I
it's so much that live
yeah.
feedback helps so
Mhm.
much.
Yeah, all about community building too, I think. Live interaction is number 1. I want to ask, how did you like vlogging and having that recorded content and against live streaming? I know we're kind of still on this topic, but what do you enjoy more?
I enjoy that it feels a little more real, I think, because like you can have lots of bells and whistles and sort of things, and you can even be a completely different person on stream if you
Yeah.
wanted to be. Like there's so many character streamers out there that do so well, but there's something that feels more real about it no matter what, because however they decide to respond to you or however you decide to respond to somebody in that moment, like it's it happens so like quickly that it feels like you're getting an unfiltered view of somebody.
Yeah.
It's just there's
I
something
like
so
that.
much more authentic about the kinds of interactions you have.
Yeah, that was something I personally struggle with YouTube. I feel like I have to put on a face and not
Yes.
be myself. I don't know if that's how you felt too, but yeah, I just when I'm live, I'm like, I'm here. You got me. I'm raw, unfiltered. You
Right.
know, I I feel like I have to do
Right.
so many takes just to record something when it should just be the same. But I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah. I think there's like some level of understanding also that like on Twitch we are all kind of streaming for like a certain amount of time. So we're going to
Yeah.
be here for a long time. So if we have that
Hmm.
like in your face vlogging personality like for the whole time, people are going to be like,
Hmm.
"Well, this is a lot." Like so it's just kind of it feels more, even people who are like super hype on Twitch, it feels more laid back, I guess, to just kind of
Yeah.
that people like aren't it doesn't feel like people are putting on a face.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah. I'm glad I'm not alone in that too. So
Right.
I'm like, I think I'm not like, am I the only one that struggles like this? Like, I have to put on a face for recording. It's just weird, but I think I'm still working through that. I'm sure other people are still working through that
Oh God,
because
yeah.
YouTube is very difficult, honestly, and then you want to cater to a specific algorithm and niche. So yeah,
God,
it's
yeah.
very hard. Yeah.
It's hard to grow on
Live
there for
streaming,
sure.
you're live streaming, you're just you. You're here.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's awesome. And with live streaming and Twitch, you being an amazing content creator comes along with you fundraising on
Yes.
Tiltify. So, let's talk about your experience using Tiltify for fundraising for so many different causes on your channel.
Yeah. So I think the first fundraiser I did with Tiltify was in 2018 when I did a month-long fundraiser for Trevor Project for Pride Month. Um, so it was great because I think I didn't necessarily realize like the power you can have with that online, and
Yeah.
how like what kind of reach you can have, because there are people who might not be able to go to like in-person events for charity fundraisers. There might be people who just don't have that kind of access, or they might like live in an area where like it's not easy to get to these kinds of things. So to have something online where you're like, hey, we are doing this thing, planning some fun things around it, having some fun incentives, it kind of gives people this feeling of like, oh my god, we're at like a charity event even though we're there, you're still sitting in my office. So it was really fun to do that, and I think from then on I just kept realizing how much power it has and how many people you can really reach. And I get surprised every time I fundraise for a new charity, people being like, hey, this charity helped me out so much because this and this and this. And I'm like, wow, like I think it gives you another insight into your community and kind of what people have been through and what causes are important, not just to you, but also your community.
Exactly. That's so important. Having a connection to a cause and bringing that connection and passion to your community is so important. And I love that because it motivates them. Like, hey, our streamer likes this cause and they have a passion for it. We're going to support it. You know,
Yes.
I love that. And I wanted to ask, what made you choose Trevor Project for your first fundraiser?
I I'd always heard about them, and I really liked that they were very focused on the LGBTQIA community, very kind of
Mhm.
focusing on like their mental health and like being a
Mhm.
free service to be like, hey, if you're struggling, like we're here. And that kind of resonated because I think for me growing up, I felt so alone in my identity. like when I was growing up, I didn't even know that being gay was a good thing. Like every time people use it at school, it was as an insult. So I was like, oh, I can't
Yeah.
possibly be that. So to have that free resource of people who have like had years and years of experience, you know, it's so important to be able to have those people to look to reach out to when you're like, I literally don't know what to do with this newfound information that I have. And if there's just so many things that we go through as queer individuals that it was important for me to see. And then I've seen them grow into like offering so many different resources for people, and this the level of attention they have to just helping out the entire community is, I think,
Yeah.
really important.
Especially queer youth. I love that so much. Especially you said, in high school and, you know, education when you're younger. Yeah, they tell you being gay is bad, being queer is bad, and it's ridiculous. But, I think we're doing better.
Oh
It's
yeah.
2021 now. We're doing better. We still have so much more work to do. But queer youth, it starts with them. It
Yes.
starts with them. Helping them find their identity at such a young age will help them feel more comfortable in their body and with their life and all that. And I love that about Trevor Project. And
Yes.
yeah, they're doing amazing work. And I think with outside of different topics, it always starts with youth because they are the next generation coming up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and it's
yeah.
such a what's the word I'm thinking of? Like a formative part of your formative stage of your life to where like
Mm.
if you're getting that like direct negative feedback about your identity, like that lasts that lasts with you for a while. So
Right.
having them to be like, no, actually, you're fine. Let's help you get through this in a way that's healthy, I think is immensely powerful.
Yeah. And I wanted to dive in more into how do you use your platform to support and elevate queer individuals in this industry?
I I honestly, a lot of my networking when it comes to finding new streamers, honestly, usually comes from like references from other queer streamers. So it really is just
Mhm.
finding just this really diverse network of queer individuals on Twitch and really trying to make sure that those are the people that I'm rating into when I end streams. If I see them going live with like an event that I think is really important, shouting them out
Mhm.
on Twitter. Any way that I can, get their, content into, on at least on somebody's radar. Kind of being like, hey, like I know of this person. Like I've
Mhm.
even been getting into a habit lately when like when I'm watching somebody, I'm like, oh, I saw somebody do this while I'm streaming, and I'll just kind of like talk about something fun that they did. Just
Yeah.
kind of getting like you know, anytime I watch a new queer streamer, like I just feel like I'm like, wow, they're entertaining people in a way I never thought to do. So just kind of being like, oh, I saw this recently and I thought it was really cool. So anything to where I can just be like, yo, watch this person in any way. I try to do it like as much as I can to a point where like it's not annoying, but like to a point where it's like, hey, please go watch other people too, because there's so much good queer talent out there.
Yeah. It's so important to uplift and support these underrepresented groups and marginalized creators. So I
Yeah.
love that. I love that you're always rooting for everybody because I see it on a timeline, Jeff. I see it. You're always retweeting somebody's stuff, telling them they look cute today or something. And I love that
Yeah.
energy.
I just think this is
It's
one of those industries where when eh, it's seen as competitive, I think on the outside looking in, you're like, oh God,
yeah.
like it's so competitive. But like the more you help each other out, the more we all win. So
Yeah.
let's do that
Yeah.
more.
Boost each other up. Okay.
Yes.
Hype each other up. And oh gosh, it's so important right now in this industry. And especially with the pandemic going on,
Mhm.
people, it's very stressful to be on the internet and you're stuck at home. And there's so many days where you doubt yourself and you beat yourself up. But we just have one another. And
Yes.
always reach out to your friends too to chat with them. They might reassure you because you probably think, wow, my stream went really bad. No, I was there. I was lurking. You hit that shot. You were really entertaining. You made me laugh. Just we have
Exactly.
each other. It's so important to
Yeah.
surround yourself with good individuals, you know.
That's a really good
And
point to make, I feel, because I
yeah.
know I get into a lot of ruts where I'm like, I feel just gross. Nobody likes watching me. I'm becoming
Yeah.
irrelevant. But it's literally like you said, just like reach out to a friend and be like, just talk to them. Cause I feel like a lot of people are in that same position where they're just like, I
Mhm.
can't reach out to anybody, but just get out of that like headspace of like, I'm doing terribly and just connect with somebody.
Yeah, there's always somebody that wants to chat with you
Yeah.
and make you feel better and reassure you, like, no, you're doing great, sweetie. Keep doing what you're doing. And if you need help with something, reach out to your friends too. Like, hey, I see you. If you want to talk about charity, hey, I know you hit $1,000 for your goal. What did you do differently? Or,
Yeah.
can you help me? Like, again, it's not always about the amount, but if you need help and you want to improve in your craft, reach out to those that want to help you out too. Because
Yeah.
more than half the time, they want to teach you and help you out with whatever you need. So,
Right, and you'd be
mhm.
surprised how much you can learn just by, like,
Yeah.
either even just simply watching other, like,
Yeah.
charity streams happen just to see what they're doing
Yeah.
differently.
Yeah. And yeah, don't feel bad about that. Just reach out for help. We are all here to help, especially me. I'm here to help you.
Yes, oh my
I'm
gosh.
sure Jeff is too,
I
for sure.
listen, I am, like, I really like being able to offer my knowledge and kinda, like, being able to teach
Mhm.
people what I have learned, so yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. And since we're on a topic of this, what advice, Jeff, would you give to somebody that wants to start their first fundraiser?
I would say you should definitely pick a cause that you're passionate about. And once you do, make sure I would say talking points are definitely something that are very important to me to have because I think being able to
Yeah.
give little like tidbits of like, hey, if you like donate this much, you pay for this charity. I think it's really nice for people when they're at your charity stream to be like, oh, if I have $5, I can give a child this in the hospital, depending on what the organization might be. Um, but ultimately, like, I wouldn't try to stress out about it too much. I think more often than not, people are really just excited to help. I think I know too many people
Mhm.
who like get too stressed about, oh, I got to have incentives, I got to have milestones, I've got to have this and this. Some of the best fundraisers I've seen, like some of the ones that have like gained so much support, had literally no incentives,
Yep.
nothing. They just said, "I'm raising money
Yes.
today," and I think that stream in particular I was thinking of got to like 20,000. She
Yeah,
just opened it
that's
up and went. So I would say don't
mhm.
stress out too much about the bells and whistles parts of it, like the things that you think might be exciting for people. Just pick a cause you're passionate about, go for it, have fun.
Yep, have fun. And adding incentives and milestones, it just makes the experience more fun, but
Yeah,
you don't always need them,
right.
okay? You don't always need to eat a bean boozled bean, okay, and torture yourself. You don't need
No,
to, I
you
promise.
don't. If you're gonna be excited about it, go for it. But if
Yeah,
it's bogging you down, like people are gonna see that. So don't worry about it.
yeah, yeah, and you honestly, I've done fundraisers where I just have balloons on my bed with the names of the donors. Boom, there you go.
That's a
If you
cute
wanna
idea.
show Yeah, if you wanna show recognition, if you're really stressing about it, you can honestly have physical balloons or you could put balloons on your screen on OBS. I
Yes.
believe Chobo Baggins, I believe she does that, or she puts little leaves on her screen. But
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
you can do it digitally or physically, if you really want to show some kind of recognition for that donor. But
Yes.
again, don't stress about it. Just have fun. I love that advice, Jeff. And pick causes you are passionate about. You don't have to relate to them particularly, but if you're passionate about that cause and you want to help it, that's enough.
Yes.
That's enough. And research your cause.
Yes, absolutely make
research,
sure.
research.
Because if I notice the ones that do better are ones that can give little tidbits of what the charity does rather than just kind
Yeah.
of be like, we're fundraising.
Exactly. Totally agree with that.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask about your experience using Tiltify.
Yeah.
What do you like most about it?
I like how it feels very easy to the user. Like it feels very
Mhm.
much like when I'm setting things up in there, I'm like, oh, this will make things so easy for people to understand when it
Mhm.
comes to donating. Like
Yep.
just the way you can like literally just plug in your incentives there. So they're just like, oh, cool, just click it there. I want to donate exactly that amount. Let's go. Um, I love how easy it is for people to see like your progress. I love how easy it is to like fundraise together and make it like a big event. Like anytime I've done like a group or team fundraiser on Tiltify, like even though like the technology behind it just it's there. You're kind of like we
Yep.
have this like invite people to a group. Um, it's there's something very exciting about it being like, oh my god, we're a part of this little like fundraiser group now. We're gonna like
Yes.
fundraise together. So
Mhm.
that's all really exciting to me. I've and as Tiltify keeps like rolling out new things, I keep getting more excited about where it's going. So
Yeah, we're always working on something.
yeah, it
Wink.
always wink. It's just it always feels very very nice. That's like the best word I can think of. It
Yeah,
just feels good to use it.
because you know every single dollar goes to the cause.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep, and it's so easy to set up. I mean, if there's a word I can give you to describe Tiltify, it would be easy.
It's so easy. Like and like it keeps getting
So easy.
easier.
Yeah, and that's what we aim for because content creators are busy. All right, we don't want you to stress over creating or registering for a cause to support. No, it takes you a couple minutes, boom, you're done.
Yep.
Okay. If you want to add incentives and so forth, that may take you a couple extra minutes or so based on however many you add. But just creating your campaign, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And
Yes.
we make it easier for you to not use third party applications so you can use our overlay feature that we have. But of course, if you want to use Stream Elements, Streamlabs, cool, that's fine. But we do have it all in one right now. You can utilize our overlay feature. So we're always, again, still working on something to make it easier.
Yeah, and I will say that overlay feature has helped me out because like being able to just like have just being able to see everything that it can do now, I'm like, oh wow, that's so
Yeah.
helpful for like for
Hmm.
for just having so many visual aspects on there that can help people help the cause.
Yes. And the fact that you can create a template so you
Hmm.
can utilize your overlay setup for every campaign you make, perfect. Because um, a lot of people think, oh, I have to keep editing my overlay for each campaign. No, just create a template and you're good. You can utilize that same template over and over, and it'll just update for that campaign cause information. So, yeah,
Okay.
I love it. Did
So
you
you
learn
just
something new, Jeff?
I literally just did because I
Woo!
every fundraiser I've done, it's so easy to do still to like just like
Yeah.
create the new
Hmm.
template, but like I didn't realize you
Yep.
can make your own. So I love that.
Yes. Yeah. When you create your overlay, just hit create template and you can use that template for every campaign.
I love that.
Yes. Maybe that's a new video idea because
Uh,
I don't think a lot of people know about that, so we'll definitely make note of that.
please do.
But Jeff, thank you so much for chatting with me today. Totify loves all the work you are doing, and we can't wait to see all the work you do in the future. So thank
Yes.
you so much.
Thank you so
Seriously.
much for having me. It was great. I
Of
always love chatting
course.
with you.
Always love chatting with you too. And now our community needs to know how we can find you on socials.
Yeah, so I am at JeffBrutlag everywhere. I'm very active on Twitter, Instagram. Been pretty active on TikTok lately as well. And you can catch
Ooh.
my streams Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Friday at twitch.tv/JeffBrutlag.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Again, all of you, thank you for watching. Please stay safe out there and love up on your families this holiday season. And we will see you in the next one. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.